that it's live, the microphone is reading. Why does it seem like the sound is receding? Let's turn it up a bit, move this a notch, and see if it looks better. Better. Hey, microphone, there you go. I'll get louder. I always do. Never too quiet. For the stream crew. Oh, Ripley, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Oh, the buttons. Do the buttons work, Ripley? Ripley? Oh, there you are, sweetest angel. So everything's fine, right? Everything's fine? Yeah. What do you mean you don't know? You didn't test everything like 6 times before we started? Yeah, we gotta test everything 6 times before we start. Oh, Ripley. Well, maybe. Maybe everything's fine then? Maybe everything's fine. Leaving it in the hands of a cat that's imaginary, imagine that. She doesn't know what she's gonna do 'cause she doesn't exist. She's only on screen for you. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. I don't know what this means. Oh. Hands suddenly clapping, I guess. And my notes, Ripley. We forgot to open up my notes. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, all right then. All right, Smug. I forgot to open up my notes. Anyway, you want to go to a camera? Do you want to go to a camera or something? Meow, meow, meow. Oh, come on. Ripley, I'm ready. CTK is already here. She's all like, good evening, with a little picture of like the evening sun going down. So a camera? Why not a camera? Maybe just cut to B? Oh, brilliant. I am a star. Shining, shimmering, wonderful. Keep the camera on me now because I'm so wonderful, wonderful. Alright, that's enough of that. Space Goonie and CTK saying hello in their Twitch communication way. Or well, CTK is on YouTube as well as we're streaming on Facebooks. So today we're gonna do some drawing cleanup from last week and tell some stories. We gotta play the intro. You gotta start with the intro anytime soon. I mean, usually you start with an intro. Yeah, I know. I'll get to it. Calm down. Seems like maybe you forgot to do the intro. And here we go again for another Tuesday of making stuff and drawing things. I should make this little screen a little bit bigger at least. A little bit smaller. Meow. Hey, Miles. Just move this up and over here. And there we go. Stream's all set up now. Now it's been going for several minutes. Excuse me. So yeah. Today we're just gonna do some cleanup on what we did last week. Oh, that's way too thick. That's way too thin. 3. Let's go with a 3. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to do some work between work and now. Today was just one of those days. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that line. Sometimes you have days where you make art stuff, where you draw all day, and that's your job is to animate things. And in the morning, you do this awesome panda bear, and you're like, awesome. I did a great job with this panda bear. The rest of the day is gonna just fly by. Pat can corroborate this. And then you try to do the next thing, and you're just like, do I not? Did I forget how to animate? Did I forget how to draw things? Why is this wonky for the rest of the day? Um, and so I'm just like, well, I didn't do enough today because technically I'm still at the beginning, kind of starting over because I didn't like what I did during most of the day, and so I semi restarted some stuff there before the stream for my work, and well, I forgot that Milo was wearing a lab coat in this comic stripping. So yeah, I kind of like started over as you do, reset some stuff up, where I'm like, all right, I'm happy with this now, but I also have to stream. I'm pretty sure. I mean, this happens all the time. You start to do something and you're just like, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's like, I can't give this to somebody. And then the next day, or even sometimes you just walk away for a few hours, but sometimes, yeah, you just, I already know that tomorrow morning, like, I'll sit down at my desk and by like 10 o'clock, I'll have done like a day and a half's worth of stuff, because I've already tried to do it the wrong way a bunch, and I'll have just a much better, faster, more efficient way of going about it tomorrow, and it'll just be like, whoop, all right, that's done. That took 4 seconds. Why did it take me all afternoon to not do anything? Uh, so when I made that first line, I was just like very very proud that I'm like, oh, whew, I guess I can at least do some cleanup on this. But as discussed before, the main point of these comic strips is something that I specifically created that I can just kind of quickly do and not think too hard about, or slash worry that, oh, these lines aren't perfect or this isn't whatever, blah blah blah. It's meant to be semi messy at least, or at least give myself some leeway where I'm like, these are just for me to have fun doing, slash to do on a live stream without it stressing me out, in that it's like important work stuff or whatever it is. Just like, yep, if it ends up looking crazy, it ends up looking crazy. Well, this line is gonna have to be thinned out. You can make a little chicken leg in here. Close enough for how small it is on the screen. And I'm on the wrong camera. So yeah, I thought for sure I'd just be like, all right, this is gonna be a real quick stream. I'll probably mostly just tell my stories of the week and go to bed. He says as these last few lines look like pure garbage. But again, comic is an exercise in being okay with garbage sometimes. Unacceptable? I believe unacceptable is what we say about that. You just be accepting of you spend half your life just looking at other people's things and saying, this part is garbage, please revise. Yeah, and it weighed heavy on my soul and I hated it. So it's nice to do something for once where I can try my best to turn off Supervisor Curtis from 14 years ago and just enjoy something instead of going, oh, but the correct way for this would be blah. So you're admitting there is a more correct way. You could be doing this corrector instead of old Sloppy Johnson over here just flopping in lines and then going, oh, maybe later I'll fix it, but then you don't. But then I do. That's the actual problem. Is like when I do put it together in a book, I usually go through and there's like, I'll go 20% of the panels at least that I fully redraw or change. I definitely change a lot of the text, mostly because so much of it is spelled wrong when I first posted on Instagram, and other stuff is, oh, this is good for this, But now that I've gone in, like in the book of all of these, the last book, the strips that I post flash drawn here are usually one page self contained deals. But the book itself has a bunch of things in between all of those that string it all together in kind of an overall story that, there's somewhat of an arc to what's going on. So it's not, I wouldn't call it like a graphic novel, but it's not fully just, Sunday comic strips at that point. There's a million ways to get a result, and all of them are right, except maybe a few where perhaps you're like, I'll go harass a hospital tonight. So, in life, there's always things, and they don't stop coming. You hit the ground running. It doesn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. What, in fact, is wrong with taking those back streets? Boys? Um, so Friday/Monday, yesterday, at work at Streamlabs, where all your streaming dreams come true. That's not their slogan, but I'm singing it to you. We had yet another giveaway. We're doing them all the time in a bunch of different places, and they're fun. For me, anyway. Where this particular week we went to TikTok and we're like, hey, tag somebody and tell us what kind of logo you would want, like a merch art thing that you could put on a shirt or something, or use as your logo or as your avatar, or whatever. An illustration. Suggest one of these illustrations of what you would like, and we'll see which ones we do. I think last time I checked, there was like 600 some, almost 700 comments, all of them asking for something. Literally, maybe two or three that were just like, I just love your stuff, bro. I just love Streamlabs and I use it. I don't need anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, oh, awesome. But most of the 700 were people suggesting their ideas, and then Clyde and myself would whip through them randomly and pick stuff that basically we'd have time to do in the run of a day or two. We do still have other things to get done. So while doing that, I record my screen and then speed it up like that 1600%. Um, and then I play it back and do my little voiceover of just kind of describing what I'm doing. Try to keep it fun. A lot of times it is just like, I don't know, I'm trying to squeeze in everything that I was thinking while I was making this into about a minute and 10 seconds. And then we upload it to TikTok or Twitter or Facebook or wherever, depending on where we're doing their giveaway that day. So that's what the panda was for earlier, if you're following the Instagram. My Instagram, that is. But then on TikTok, there's 2 or 3 posts now that are my little speed paints of the logos that I was doing today, talking about the people, trying my best to pronounce their names. Similarly, when somebody new jumps into the chat and I don't know how to pronounce their names, and it's a good time. So anyway, yeah, let's put some door handles on this. the anyway being that I had a reason to look at TikTok for my job. I have to open TikTok. There's no way around this. For some reason, when I tried to open it on my computer, it kept trying to open up any link, or even not even a link, just like searching for anything on TikTok. It would just be like, "Hey, do you want to open this in a text file?" Like, no, just go to the just go to this page, go to this TikTok page. Like, we don't know what you're talking about. How about a text file? No. What do you? Why would this be? You're being crazy, TikTok. You're being crazy. Why won't you select multiple? Um, so I had to open it up on my phone, which means that every time I go to check the comments, to find somebody else's thing to draw, TikTok is open. So you're still, I'm getting the first video every time regardless. But the crazy thing is, how is TikTok still a thing? Like, algorithmically speaking, is anybody seeing anything beyond the same 5 videos? Because I had to open it up a few times over a few days, and I'm just like, these are still the same videos. Like, sometimes they're being posted by other people, but mostly it's just like, hey, nope, this is this person again. How is this possible? There's only a bajillion people posting a bajillion videos on TikTok every day. How is it I ever see anything twice? One. And two, did some playing around with some stop motion, and I figured, well, I've already got TikTok open. I might as well upload a TikTok, or upload these to TikTok. Why not? So I uploaded Skeletor and Soundwave stop motions that I did. And again, one more reason to open TikTok and see stuff again. So I made a quick list. Like, this was just from Friday, I believe, when I'm like, all right, I have to open up TikTok, and I saw like maybe 12 videos. 9 of them are the same videos that I always see of like the same girl just being like, hey, someone's over here looking for boobs, I think. Like, like, yep. I assume this is the same person, but it's still the same thing anyway. Like, there's 7 million of those. And then, somebody in traffic screaming, and it says, like, Karens, am I right? And then another one's just like, oh, these lefties, am I right? And them screaming at each other, and it's just like, all right, cool. So the different things that I saw were, one, a lady in an ER, like in a hospital waiting room, just getting right in somebody's face, screaming at them until a like a full on like security guard, like kind of seeming policey, like full on gear, like walks towards her, screaming her back into her seat and screaming, like, we don't do that here. You've got to show respect. Blah 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 blah. And just like, nothing makes sense. So outside the hospital, people are protesting again for whatever reason. One of the TikToks that I did see was a lady pretending to be, a conversation with herself. Oh, what's that like? What's that like when somebody had the conversation with themselves? So they like just switch the camera back and forth. Is that theme crazy? Is that weird? Or is that completely normal? Are we at TikTok? Should we be doing this on TikTok every day? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So I shared this on my Instagram story, but she was just like, "Hey, did you hear? Like, you're gonna have to show your vaccine passport, whatever. You're just gonna proof of vaccine for stuff." And the one person just being like, like, that sucks. Like, I'm gonna protest. And then the other person, whatever herself, saying, oh, like, you're gonna go protest the government. And the other person like, what? No, I'm gonna go protest the hospitals. But why the hospitals? Well, if you get COVID or whatever, people are going to be going to the hospital, and they're going to be the ones that are like treating them and stuff. So, like, that's where the COVID is. So we're going to protest there. Like, none of what you're saying makes any sense. And then it just kind of ends with that, where it's just like, like, what are we doing? What are any of us doing? And genuinely, I haven't noticed any anti-vax protests or rallies around town here. I don't go too far, but so far it seems like the at least nobody's on the march around here yet. God knows, maybe there's people at the hospital. I hope not, and I don't want to have to find out. But everywhere, not too far from here, just everywhere. That doesn't matter. Not too far from there, wherever you are, and not too far from here, there's a bunch of anti-vax nonsense. Sean the Shooter on Instagram is in Halifax. You can go follow him, Sean the Shooter. I believe he has some other accounts linked through there, but he takes amazing photos. Sometimes I steal them and use them for drawing. And I believe I saved it here somewhere so I could read it. All right, so Sean says, overheard from the anti-vax COVIDiot rally on Citadel Hill today, so I forget when this was, Saturday maybe, Friday. Speaker, we are not anti-vax, we are pro-choice. And then the audience, the crowd is like, boo, because they're also not pro-choice. So the speaker just like, we're pro-choice about vaccinations, audience. Yay! So that's hilarious. It's, reprehensibly sad and hilarious. That's, comedy is tragedy plus time usually, equals laughter. But we're skipping the time part. And it's just, well, you gotta laugh, you gotta laugh at it, or else you just have to cry, right? I mean, oh, what was the other? Oh, I guess there was a pro-life thing up the street a few days ago. So there you go. Um, it's definitely not a perfect place, but mostly just because I don't go too far. I don't see many things. But yeah, a lot of just I don't understand the it's just the I can't even say belief, but just the uh, what cogs have to turn together in what way for you to be like, I don't want this. Okay, if you don't want this, then basically stay away from the places that are giving it away for free. No, I'm going down to that place and I'm going to protest it. Like, okay. And I can see, actually, you know what? No, I can understand the math behind it, how they arrive there, because there's a certain amount of people in the world that run purely on vengeance, or not even vengeance, but on "I told you so's." So, or well, you did it, so I get to. Actually, yeah, let's go with that one. It's a you. Well, that's what you're always saying, so that's what I want now. And technically, in the well, it's my body, it's my choice, or whatever. It's like technically, you're right. Like it is your body and your choice, but in this instance, and the other one, it is like, you're incubating, let's say, a baby, and what comes out is that person has to deal with in whatever capacity. With this one, what's incubating inside you could be a new strain. It could be a stronger strain that will then, fight off the vaccines that we have already. It's not about uh, you just getting over it. There's a bunch of people that won't be able to get over it, and you'll still be able to carry it around. But B, the less people carrying it around, the less incubators there are to make it stronger, better, faster. Like it's just that simple. And I don't know. I'm just a simple idiot, and that makes sense to me. And even like I don't know, I was raised both in the ideologies that are the doctor is there is just trying to do the best for you. That's their job. That's why they get into it. And also, but keep an eye out because some people are just crazy maniacs, and they are. Some people just want to abuse you. Some people just want to use you. But that's what sweet dreams are made of. Nightmares sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, uh, even just based on the TikToks of hospital people, they really, really seem to be. Uh, if the Superman song, the Crash Test Dummy Superman song, was a people, it would be the hospital staff within these last few years, like all the time anyway. I mean, anytime I have sat in the waiting room at the hospital, I still just feel bad for everybody because it's like you are doing so much more than you should have to deal with. Why is this person just being uh, indignant, being troublesome? Like they came here to get help, and they're not help me help you kind of thing. Like always be trying to help somebody to help you or be helping somebody. It's not a complicated situation. But the idea of I don't know. Again, it's just like has nobody ever had somebody else in the hospital or been in the hospital and know how stressful that is? Like then to add like what if we militarize outside of it and start screaming things? Will that make life better? In zero ways. In zero ways. Even if you're protesting against this vaccine, doing it at the hospital isn't going to do it. You would specifically have to do it on a government level at a parliamentary building. But yeah, the hospital staff though, the Superman song, which is Superman never made any money, saving the world from Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy. Let's do a quick little history lesson on Solomon Grundy for 5 seconds. Do we really need to? Maybe. Probably we don't. I mean, Solomon Grundy was born on a Sunday. That's all I remember. That's all anybody should. I mean, they don't even need to know that. He's basically DC Universe's Incredible Hulk, except a zombie, right? I mean, is that enough? You're like, no, we don't need a history on him. Then you're all like, oh, I know everything about Solomon Grundy. Yeah, he was a Green Lantern villain, I believe, and then also a Batman villain. Lots of stuff. He died, and then he keeps coming back to life because of some magic swap, I believe. That's all I know as well. Um, so Superman, he's not making any money from saving the world from Solomon Grundy. Uh, he almost never fought Solomon Grundy back in the old days. Once the new Justice League cartoon came around and they turned Solomon Grundy into a Hulk, yeah, fighting him all the time. But Solomon Grundy is technically just kind of this shambling zombie guy. Like he's just parts of the swamp are in him. I think he's borderline swamp thing, but he's more like just a big old dead guy. Um, and so in the song, he's got to repeatedly fight these undead this idiots. So this, these zombies. This one zombie keeps showing up for the same reason, just like I don't know. It's my thing that I do. I've made a terrible decision, and it involves fighting superheroes for whatever reason. Um, so the hospital staff are thusly. They don't make enough money to deal with fighting zombies every day. They're already I can't think of any of their lines from the song. He could have robbed any bank. Could have broke through. No. I believe yeah, he's in one of the Arkham games. He's definitely in Arkham City. I think is the last one I actually played till the end. Maybe it was the other one. Either way, he's definitely in there. You have to. Oh, or am I thinking of Bane? I think both. Yes, both are in there. Um, but anyway, there's a part of the song where it's all like Tarzan wasn't a ladies' man. He kept on. Nope, that's the Superman part. Running around in the forest. So anyway, Superman's all like, I should just, nobody even cares. Like, I keep saving everybody. I keep stopping all the bank robberies. But you know what would be great? Is to not deal with this madness. I've put in so much effort, so much extra effort. Why don't I just go hang out in the jungle with Tarzan? If he doesn't want to deal with anything, he doesn't. He just sits up in the tree and just like, yep, law of the jungle and whatnot. Mufasa said, kill and be killed, guys. I'll be up here. And now, of course, I've seen plenty of posts that are about nurses and doctors that are like, I give up. I give up. You win. You win, dog. I'm not doing this anymore. This is insane. You're basically like, I'm trying to help you and you're threatening me while I do it and telling me that the thing that I'm trying to help you with isn't real. Let's get on some sort of similar page together. And people are all, no. No, they will not. We won't give in. No one's asking, no. And these are the same people. I'm gonna generalize right here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I don't know. But at the risk of being a pejorative jerk, I'm gonna generalize that all of these people, all of the people that are saying no, no, I make my decisions about what needles I get, and yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And I don't care if I leave a wake of bodies behind me. Like, yeah, clearly you don't, but it would be nice if you did. Um. Sometimes you get a metaphor in your head, and then you're just like, no, that's stupid. Um, and you try to fix it, but you can't. You got nothing else. That's all I got. That's all I have is this metaphor. These are the same people that will 100% of the time that are just like, you can't tell me what to do. If you, even no matter how much they're just like, you suck at whatever it is we're doing, and we hate you. Like, all right, but hey, come on, why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing the sport with us? Why don't you join in and play this sport? Hey, we're playing beer pong. Join in and play beer pong. No, I'm good. No, why don't you just join in and play beer pong? Hey, what do you mean you're not drinking? No, I'm not drinking. I'm gonna drive. Slash, I don't feel like it. Slash, I don't need to give you any reasons. No, what do you? Hey guys, everybody gather around. This person isn't drinking tonight. They don't enjoy parties that much apparently. No, enjoy the party harder. And why don't you drink something? What's going on? Why are you ruining everything by not joining in? And those exact same people are the ones that are saying, no, we will not join in. We want to ruin everything by not joining in, but we're doing it as a team. I think that's what makes it okay in that logic. Just so tired. Just so tired of people. But anyway, that was one. That was from one TikTok over to an Instagram. The next of three just day ruining TikToks. Let's call them that. Like just hey, let's scroll for a second between looking at work stuff or seeing if more than two people looked at the TikTok that I posted today. And it's just like Facebook and Instagram were down yesterday. Instagram being down is annoying, but having Facebook down was just like, this is fine. And then today, I was fully like, I gotta look at Facebook less because yesterday was way better than today. It, every post is just a war. The entire book of Face is just a list of atrocities and or people raging against those atrocities or people raging in favor of those atrocities or just horror. In between, there's still some good things. There's still like, oh hey, my friend is in a corn maze with her kids. That's great. Nothing horrific there. Except for me wanting to post, now run. They're walking into the maze just like, just turn and run now. They'll never get you. They're in a corn maze. The perfect crime. And yeah, there's been a few Facebooky things. I watched a part of one where, the government's like, yeah, so will you keep all of our stuff? Missed it. Um, and that's just weird. So anyway, outside of the anti-vaxxing, I didn't want to talk about that all day. Um, the other TikTok there was. Oh, I should have wrote down some more things. Yeah, that's what it was. There was a TikTok that was specifically an anti-vax rally. There was something crazy about that I don't remember. So whatever. Didn't make enough notes. I apologize. That's right. You should apologize. Always make more notes. You should cancel this stream right now. This whole stream is over, guys. We're done. We're done. Meow, 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 meow. No, Ripley. Don't ever listen to him. And then I really wanted there to be a second thing between this last one. So this was just like, I'm going to describe it anyway, and it's in my head. Now it's going to be in your head. Thankfully, you don't see everything, but you see enough and you hear enough. So there's like, I don't even, like a waterway. It's a big, I don't even know, a vast waterway of some kind. And on the side there's like that concrete embankment that is sloped down. There's like a pipe sticking out where I assume sewage or something probably comes out. And yeah, at first the video is on like this dog like trying to skitter up the side. It's not too far, like it doesn't seem crazy far, but it is still kind of like, oh, hopefully this dog can get up there, or they do the thing where they throw down something that it can latch onto or whatever. And then I realized, oh, it's not just one dog. There's a second dog on the pipe, just kind of like, what is going on here? And the first dog is just like, slowly sliding down towards the water. I'm just like, this is insane. Is this funny? Is this a funny video? I think I just, saw one video where a guy was doing funny stuff. Maybe this is another funny video. And then I realized within the darkness of the water, there is fully just an alligator just like waiting, just like, I'm going to eat this dog, and somebody is TikToking it. The people on the side of the embankment are just screaming like, no, no, oh my god, losing their mind. And I'm just like, well, this is a TikTok video, and anything could happen right here. I assume this dog is going to just whoop, make it up, and everything's going to be fine. I was like, but there's two dogs and an alligator. What is happening right now? So it slides down basically into the alligator's mouth. Oh, cool. Thanks, TikTok. The alligator kind of tries to thrash the dog, manages to jump around, or is just like, yep, this is, semi-even ground. Dogs are real quick. They're good at evading stuff like this. And I don't know how tenacious this alligator's going to be. Maybe it will be like, I don't even care. If this thing runs down the way, I'm just going to chill here and wait for one of these people to fall down. I don't know. So the dog manages to kind of bounce away, skitters back up and down again as the alligator makes its way over to the other side where the dog is sliding down. And the other dog is still just like, just wish I could help. Wish I could help, dog. But I don't know what is happening, what that thing is. I don't understand anything. So the dog slides back down again. It's tussling, trying to stay out of the alligator's mouth. And then the video basically ends with the alligator seemingly getting a pretty good hold of the dog and then going beneath the sea like a movie. But I I assume the fact that there isn't a second video isn't, and here's the video of that dog escaping. It's just, here's horror. And by the end, that's when I realized, oh, there's a little bit of text at the bottom of this TikTok that says, P.S. This particular video might be horrific. And I like didn't realize this was a thing. TikTok is so on top of policing everything, wherein I put up some sort of stop motion-y thing. I forget. I can't remember now. No, one of those mouth things. There was no nudity, but it was Britney Spears, and I was just having her go, my whatever, her vagina is showing, because it was that picture where her vagina. But I hid everything, and they took that down immediately. Meanwhile, it's just like, oh, this is fine. But again, this nature documentaries. It's not too, crazy. David Attenborough or whatever his name is. That's his whole job, is both like, oh, the majesty and the splendor that is this bird that can imitate any sound. Oh, thanks, David Attenborough. Richard Attenborough. One of those is the Jurassic Park guy, and one of those is the nature guy. And then, the videos of them having epic battles, which I don't ever go looking for. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Didn't expect that. A lady being screamed at in a hospital, and then an anti-vax just scream fest, which is like, what's happening here? I believe it was something about somebody threatened the person that was filming the anti-vax thing, that they were like, we're gonna call the cops. Like, oh, okay, what? And then of course, just screaming and threatening things. Exactly. Wouldn't it be more or less upsetting? I don't know why I thought this made sense when I drew it. So that was my TikTok adventure. So I mostly have been ignoring TikTok again, other than making stuff for people. But in the wonder that is TikTok is some people were just like, oh hey, can I ask how you did this stop motion, or what kind of rig did you use? Got a lot of comments and retweets from Skeletor on Twitter. But yeah, just a handful of people were like, hey, are you the illustrator from Streamlabs? I'm like, yeah, I'm one of them. But yes, I drew your sloth. So it was fun. It's fun. It's still, every place is still a good place, no matter how terrible place is. It is mostly people dancing, but there's just like, for what it shows to me all the time is mostly it's always just like, Nova Scotia TikTok, Halifax TikTok, which is, here, and so often it is just like somebody filming the road. People are being jerks. Look at this road. And sometimes it's somebody driving weird or whatever. But most of the time it's like just the road. Like, what are you doing? You took some other audio that's saying, people are jerks all the time, and you pasted it over a video just of you watching, not even you, just of your road. And this is boring. Again, still, you have 1,000 more followers than I do, and I'm bringing nostalgic toys from my childhood back to life. Not that I was ever a Transformers guy. I really don't know a whole lot of Transformers stuff. I do understand how disappointing the Michael Bay movies are. And, one of the things that I do love about the Transformers was their designs. Like, they all look awesome. And in those movies, they do not. I didn't watch the Bumblebee movie, but that looks amazing. So, in my never-ending quest to get random He-Man characters using them until I'm like, I don't need any more. I was looking at the Transformers, and I was like, I do like Soundwave just looks cool. I like that he has a little tape deck in his chest, and the tape comes out. He doesn't transform or anything. but he's got like just crazy articulation all over the place. And I was just like, is this as articulated as I think it is? I want to do a little animation of Soundwave putting a tape in his chest and then just kind of rocking out to his own music. And then I got it all set up last night. Spent way too long setting it up, and then it just didn't hold properly. He just wasn't staying in space like with the little rig that I had to hold him up with. So I'm like, well, in order to really make this work, I kind of have to take this setup apart. With some of it as glued down, it would work 100% better, but I'm like, I don't really feel like this now. I already just like was messing around with this, trying to find poses that work. I spent way too long looking through Facebook for a dance to reference. So I had the video here, and then I had the stop motion screen to the left of that, and just kind of going frame by frame to match up the poses. But since I couldn't get putting the tape into his chest part done or the way I wanted to, it just, like I said, it just wasn't holding right, so it was just going to be all jittery. Then I'm like, well, just for fun then, I'm just going to do some of the poses from this dance and see if they work. Like, let's just see how well it works, and I'll figure out how to set up the rig to make it more structurally sound, to keep him in space better later on. And I kind of thought it was going to look super bad, but I was like, I can't quite tell. It looks like it's actually looking okay, but it was just so short that it's like, who can tell? Actually, so if I... There we go. So, yeah, it was basically, I only did some of the dance, and then I was like, well, let me just try to loop it real quick, and then I'll just let it repeat, because I put too much time into this, and there needs to be about, like, I don't know, 6 more frames for every movement that there is. Like, I basically pretty much just keyed it out with a few in-betweens, and just didn't think it was going to play that well. Thought it was just going to be like, super fast, but I'd get to see some of the arcs and just see, like, is he bouncing the way I wanted? And then turns out I was like, oh, it was working pretty good. If I had have just, yeah, pulled that grass out of there, which is there with a lot of glue, I could have got this to work better, but everything was a little bit wonky. And that's just some music from iMovie on my phone. There's like, I want to post it some places. So yeah, like, if I just added a few more frames here and there, I'd be like, this would have been like almost what I was expecting. I was so much more impressed with this than I thought it would be. But I'm like, well, now I definitely have to post this places. But it is also technically only half of the dance as well, where I'm just like, my back hurts, my neck hurts, my arm hurts. Like, I've been, hunched over in a weird way to try and do this stopping motion. Whereas the Skeletor, I actually took some time with this. Thanks, guys. So the Skeletor, I was super impressed with myself. If I do say so myself. I took a little bit of time with it. I really thought about everything. I really put clay down where I needed to kind of keep things positioned. And as well, it goes out of focus because I forgot to refocus. I was just too focused on moving it, and the display capture only shows it at such a certain quality until you actually play it. So I'm like kind of guessing, but when he's far away, oh, he's focused, looks real good. But yeah, so I got some paint, tried a few different things. So I did paint the bones on his thing and repainted the head of his Havoc staff. And then also, it's hard to see in this, but yeah, I finally made a cape with some wire in it, and there's a bit of a collar that's like felted around so that you can't see that behind the cape, the little rig that I showed you last week is there to hold him up, and he has some big hot glue handles on the back of his butt and his back to hold him so he can move around more. But he was already kind of close to the camera, so, and I also was like, I don't want to do a whole walk cycle. This is just a test.
I have a magic stick, He-Man. Yeah.
So, I don't know if the audio was on with that. There's a weird offset on this that.
I have a magic stick, He-Man. Yeah.
Plus, there's a delay on my headphone. So anyway, if that does look like it matches up on Instagram, it looks like it matches up way better voice-wise. But I must have said about 1,000 things. 1,000 things. Like, I recorded it. It was like, I just don't know what he's going to say. I just opened the mouth a little bit. I was like, well, I want to fill it with something. And just literally just kept recording, and it was just never even close. Where I'm just like, focus, beast man, focus! Like, nope, that doesn't work. And then I did one right before this one that was like, oh, that's dead on, like, done. But if you press the done button before you hit the stop button, it just goes away, and I'm just like, oh, that one was just right. And then I was like, I don't know. What else? He's just standing there with a magic stick, and then it was just like, I have a magic stick, He-Man. I'm like, oh wow, that fit really well. But aside from that little hand jitter at the beginning, most of it is relatively smooth. I was gonna do a hey, jaunty back and forth kind of hop walk, but yeah, like I said, like he was already there. With the first step, so I was like, oh, I should have put him back further, but you know, that's how it ended. That's the end of that story. I'm sure I brought that up for some reason. Oh yes, to take away from the TikTok thing I was talking about. I was trying to change this subject, and now you're bringing it up again. So don't bring it up again. Let's just skip to something else. Hey, Ted, what's going on over there? Oh, hey, bros. Oh, just chilling, just keeping everything real cool. What are you guys doing over there? You drawing pictures again? Are you guys talking about TikTok? No, we're done talking about TikTok, Ted. No more TikTok for today. And I already looked at my notes and I forgot. Oh, yes, the other thing. Ooh, I watched something about He-Man and the Mat. I should have written it down. Why did I even just say it out loud? Because I don't remember what it was. It was the history of the background on the creation of... Oh... No, all I can think of is I watched an unboxing of a deluxe version of Scare Glow from the Revelations toy line, which made me still kind of angry that Tila wasn't in the first run of Revelation toys. I'm still just frustrated about that. The show is mostly about Tila, and she's not one of the first characters. Fine. Nothing makes sense. But speaking of Scare Glow, who, again, I have no idea. I don't remember that character from my childhood at all. But around town here, to slightly bring it down a notch again, they've put these scarecrows everywhere. Like a lot of businesses, like in their store windows, they've made some scarecrows that kind of represent what they do, or at least put their own little spin on it, and it's fine. It's inside of a glass window. Yes, when I walk by them, I still am like, whoa, oh, that's not a person. It's a scarecrow in a window, but they're still behind glass. odds are they can't just Jason Voorhees through that glass and murder me. But everywhere else in town, there's scarecrows around every corner. You'll come around a bush and there's just like, ones with their arms up, ones with their arms down, some that are like lots of clothes, so it really does like look like a person billowing with the moving as their clothes billow in the wind. Some of them, there's lots of just wood, but a lot of just like hands up in the air with gloves on, bag heads. Something straight out of The Strangers. Was that what it was called? The horror movie where people would like stand 20 feet in your driveway and stare at your house while wearing creepy masks, then eventually bang on your door and try to come in and then murder you, I assume, before the end of the movie. I didn't like that one. Awesome premise for the scariness, but too scary. Too close to home. Too close to home. So just down the street here, there's kind of like a little building that's like a tourist information booth thing, and there's kind of a park around it with some trees, some walkways, some tables with checkerboards on them, and like 2 or 3 benches. And every time I walk by there, I'm like, which one of these is going to be a person and which one of these is a scarecrow? Because there's like 12 of them in this little area, kind of nestled amongst the trees in a very, yes, Miles, purge-like setting, where it's also like, well, if I'm ever going to get jumped, I've already decided that the place where it will happen is within the little walkway by the information kiosk. It just seems like the perfect place for somebody to jump out, or for somebody to just be chilling there and just be like, yeah, no, I'm a stabby person, and now I'm going to stab you here. And it's just weird. But yeah, in that particular, and again, they're everywhere. Specifically, there's a bunch of places like where the homeless people would chill out a lot of the times. Like, oh, this is where we sit sometimes while we wait for the shelter to open, or we wait for the library, and then it's just like there's 2 like fake people in the exact spot where normally somebody wrapped in all over their clothes will be hunkered down for a little while, because churches are supposed to be helpful and take people in as opposed to scaring you, but apparently they're the scariest. Apparently, we've known for years. So at this one church, I'm literally like staring at one for the longest time, where I'm like, is that a person hunkered down pretending to be a scarecrow? Is it a person that just happens to look like a scarecrow because they have all of their stuff? Is this a trap? Is this offensive? Am I upset? Am I scared? What is happening? But yeah, same with down by the library. It's like they're circling, and again, I understand the sentiment. We've had a rough year. People miss Halloween. People miss things that we can do together, and this is one of those things. It's like, hey, as a community, we'll have these scarecrows everywhere, and we can all enjoy them together, right? So several times, terrified, where I'm just like, oh, from behind a bush, from behind a corner. The other day, though, I'm walking and just kind of not really paying attention, and all of a sudden, where the scarecrows are, 2 dudes are just like, whoop, like, oh, hey, like, whoa. Really thought that that these were scarecrows, but they're 2 dudes. Now I have to try to walk away without seeming like my pants are full of poop. But also, one of them like is just like, hey, like, you got any money? Like, can you spare some change? Not do you got any money? Like, can you spare some change? Can you spare a few dollars? That's what it was. Can you spare a few dollars? And no was the answer. I didn't have any. I wasn't carrying money. I was just going for a walk, and I'm going home. Bone was just like, nope, sorry. I'm like, sorry, guy. He didn't like that at all. He definitely gave me the look of, yeah, good for you then, or whatever. Like, I'm sorry. Like, oh my god, I don't know what to do here. I'm, I'm also slightly afraid of you right now. So I'm not gonna go get some money or something to bring back. I'm just getting out of here. Also, just being around these scarecrows is creeping me out. So there's that. That's fine. That's just how it affects me. But I'm not the only person in the world. I'm, I, I'm aware of that. I'm not a crazy person who thinks I'm the only person in the world. You know, but you do sit in a room where you talk to a bunch of other things where you're basically the only person in the world, and you know that's totally fine. Hey guys, there could be as many people in this room as there needs to be. If it's 0, or if it's 12, or if it's 2, guys, let's just all be cool together. There's no need to worry. You know, none of us are ghosts. None of us are ghosts. So that's cool. Why did you bring up that you're not a ghost, Ted? Is Ted a ghost? Should we be worried that Ted is the ghost? Because if Ted is the ghost, he's got to get out of here. That's against the rules. There's just no ghosts allowed. There's just no ghosts allowed. Couldn't find the button. Ted's fine. If he is a ghost, that's fine with me. All right, he's not hurting anybody. He's not knocking things over in the night. If anything, cats are more ghosts than pictures of cats on the wall. So you're saying having an animated cat in your life is much more efficient and less ghost-like, where things don't get knocked over their night, than just having, you know, a real cat. Also the poop. Yeah, cat's ghost poop is not like ghost poop. It's there. It's there. So, didn't mean to take a wild, fanciful tangent and then drift over into something horrific. So, as we talked about in the last few weeks, very recently, somebody was stabbed to death in this neighborhood, slash in this town, where all of these scarecrows are now just being put up. So it's just like, very recently somebody was just approached out of nowhere, and maybe after having a rally where all of the, you know, the Indian people in town had a rally saying we're scared, and then suddenly, and this is just me guessing. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. You're probably wrong. You're always wrong about things, and this one is what I hope I am. I really do hope that there was nothing behind that where it is just like, we're just having scarecrow fun. These are fun scarecrows, and not, let's put up a bunch of scarecrows and scare some of these people that are already scared, if you know what I mean. Like, hopefully it's not. It definitely isn't that. I want to say I meet such good people in this town that they definitely like, this is about community and sharing and making stuff as a town and not some weird thing to scare people away. But when I go out into the town, I do at a lot of corners feel like I'm going home. I feel like this town is trying to scare me away. Like, I'm from this province, guys, like, and I feel like I should go away. What do you want me to go away? I don't know. Everything's nuts. Everything's nuts. But that's just me conspiracy theorizing for no reason other than I'm afraid of things. But not so afraid that I'm going to not get a vaccination, that I'm going to fight against everything that's good. And again, the other thing that makes me crazy, Pat, just for 1 minute. Standing up for what you believe in, yeah. Doing what you believe is right for your family and for your friends and for your community, awesome. Do that. It's the part that it is just the, like, we're standing up and we're fighting, but it seems to be just for the sake of fighting. It's just a very heavy devil's advocate-y type of mentality behind, not to get back into the anti-vaccine stuff, but just so many of the things that they say are just so, like, I don't understand how you arrived at this, set of goals. Like, I don't even know what you would call those. Like, what is your goal here? Like, we're trying to stop this thing. Like, so many people that were trying to stop this thing have died, and their last, message to the world was, hey, oh my god, I'm dying of COVID right now. Please please don't listen to all the rhetoric that I've been spreading. I was so wrong. This is all real, and we should listen to people who know what they're doing. And I mean, how many billions of those people have to come out and say things before somebody goes, oh, yeah, that's starting to make sense. But I don't know. I haven't watched news in a long time. Seemingly, Trump is still a thing. Giuliani is still a thing. I don't even think I have any other notes. Scarecrows. Scarecrows. But yeah, like CDK says, the scarecrows that are actually out at specific businesses are awesome ones. The generic ones in the street, I feel like they are there as a trap to kill me. Oh man. I still have to come up with the words for this one and some other ones. I've got a bunch of comic strips here that I need to finish, and I wonder how many pages. I think we're almost up to 40 pages, maybe. 34, so like 35, 36, yeah, like 37 pages if I can add some words to some of these things. Something strange in my neighborhood. But who am I gonna call? Ghostbusters? Something's weird. Coming through my walls? Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. Can I do a stream that's only an hour? Seems so short. But I genuinely thought it was going to be a lot harder for me to do each one of these lines, and it was going to take me forever just to do a basic cleanup. But then turns out I'm amazing, I guess. I don't know. Oh, hey, why don't you toot that horn a little harder? I don't know if you got enough of your spit all over it. You tutor of your own horde, huh? Well, if you call you a tutor from tutor time. That's not what that means. That's a lot of comics. Ghostbusters. Do 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 do. Ghostbusters. Yeah, I feel like I had definitely more stuff to talk about Skeletor about, and it's just not coming to me, and I didn't write it down. Why are you just making faces? Why are you just looking excited and not saying the thing? You're like so happy? There's only one thing. That you could be talking about, or ready to talk about, and or thinking about. That's right. New Taskmaster started. Did we even bring it up last week? And great. Last season, fantastic. Season before that, painful, but still great. I still keep watching it back, and it's still kind of good. New season, everybody. Once again, we're back into the throes of everybody's just awesome, and they're putting so much thought and effort into it. Like the last season with Lee Mack, it was great, but there was still a certain level of COVID energy amongst everyone, where it's just like everyone's still kind of trying to pull themselves out of the hole that was 7 years of COVID. But this season, we're a little more back to getting closer to the normal energy. I just keep thinking of Greg Davies now, but Davis. And Miles didn't know. The guy from QI. Oh my god, I can't think of his name. But I love him. He's amazing. He's got a crazy storied life of pain and sadness that he just revealed in a book not too long ago. Alan Davis, there we go. Um, Alan Davis is awesome. I love his energy towards it. Slash his dynamic with Greg is fantastic. His dynamic with Alex, fantastic. Victoria Cora Mitchell always thinks she's amazing. She's so smart, so smart that it's like almost painful. And now I definitely need a season where David Mitchell is on it. He almost definitely would never do a show like that. I don't know how they got her to do it, but he's just so indignant about so many things and so clever about stuff that it's just like, oh, I can't wait every episode. Every time it's her turn, I can't wait. I know it's gonna be just insane on several different levels. Gus, I believe his name is. I believe his last name is also a G word. Super can't get enough of him as well. Really like his attack on the thing and just cool laid back attitude towards stuff, but still a certain level of intensity. I don't know. He's super great. I'm trying to go up and down the thing now. I'm not sure if I recognize anybody else. Oh, yes, I do. He was on like Would I Lie to You a few times and Mock the Week. Oh, I should just look it up so I can just read their names. All the technology in the world. And of course, in between, once you get a new Taskmaster episode, then what? I'm just gonna go back to watching random episodes of Mock the Week? No, no. I can only allow myself to enjoy the world before 2020 for so long. Like, oh, the news of 2016 was wacky. Remember when all this was the horrible stuff? Good times. Make more jokes about old timey news. And this is just a list of the episodes. Tell me who's on it. I can't believe I clicked on several things already, and none of them are a list of their names. Um, Here we go. Morgana is amazing. I don't know who she is, but she is the Jeff Davis or the Jeff Davis. She is the uh, the Joe Wilkinson. She's the Joe Wilkinson of this season, where it's just like anything could happen with this lady. She's all over the road. Um, and Desiree, that's it. Desiree is the only one that I actually recognize from other stuff. I know that she's super funny on Mock the Week and those other shows. And her tenacity. Oh man, like I don't know. This season, I've already watched both episodes twice. I watch it first, and then I'll watch it again the next day easily. But yeah, Morgana. I don't know who she is, but her view of everything is just again just the rage towards Alex, I guess, or just towards it was just like, oh, so funny, so funny. So once I rewatched those two new episodes, for the second time, then I'm just like, well, I already have so much of Taskmaster memorized. I don't super have Taskmaster New Zealand memorized yet, even though I've watched them too much. So I'm like, time to switch over to Taskmaster New Zealand. But those episodes aren't showing up the way they used to. So I just watched a little bit of that. But oh man, if anybody out there isn't watching Taskmaster, yeah, they're all on. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's disgusting. Oh my god. How is the Twitches shutting you down with this kind of lax behavior? Yeah, other people have much more lax behavior. I'm not in a hot tub, for God's sakes. Or even worse, a fake hot tub. But yeah, Taskmaster New Zealand. Yeah, like same as I was watching it with CTK, and she's kind of like, not the same. Like you still need this. The animosity that Greg has towards everybody and Alex is on a magical level, whereas the Jeremy Wells and Paul Williams. I remember those names. Um, I feel like even though they're trying to have a bit of that dynamic, they definitely kind of they all like each other. Like New Zealand is a small place, so I figure you can only be so mean. Everybody's just a little bit nicer overall. But yeah, it's definitely not the same, but it's the same enough that it gets you through. And yeah, both those guys like really grew on me. Like I legitimately looked up and watched some clips of Paul Williams doing stuff, him doing some stand up to his parents, and them just being like, "He's a good boy. We're glad he's doing okay." They did not laugh. Um, I think this is a Peter, the weird looking Peter Venkman. I think it was kind of going to be an Egon when I started drawing. I don't know what happened. Oops. Do 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 do. Actually, I think one of the first cassette tapes that I ever uh bought myself and owned was the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack, which is kind of insane. I mean, I mostly just wanted to hear the Ghostbusters theme song, which isn't on the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. I don't remember what the end of a particle accelerator or the photon wand, whatever they're called, looks like. Where some of the light and or shadow would go. Some ghosts like to boast that they are the most, but these four Ghostbusters are finding Beetlejuices. There's no worm too big, no worm too small. If you got sandworms, call the Ghostbusters. Egon Spangler, the Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman. There's no need to thank them. They just want to get paid. They live in a fire hall all together. It's not weird at all. Busting ghosts there. Oops. Oops. Oh, come on. Why is this? Oopsie doopsie doo doobity doo. I'm trying to remember in my head now. Cause there were so many, like all the songs. One was Bobby Brown. This is Ghostbusters 2. Bobby Brown. I think it's Bobby Brown. I don't even know. But it was we're back to fight the evil. We will never deceive you. We're back to fight the evil. We're back. And then I think it was just a bunch of we're back. And that song plays at like the beginning of the movie or when they start busting ghosts. Yeah, right after they bust those weird courtroom ghosts. And the judge is like, "We find that ghosts are real." Yeah, we saw the first movie. Why did any of this become not real again? Because we wanted to have this courtroom scene. Because Dan Aykroyd writes movies all coked up back in those days. Yeah, so that song, it sucked. It was a dumb song. But it sounded real nice, though. Had a good hook to it, as they all did. And then, yeah, instead of the Ghostbusters theme, there was the Ghostbusters rap by Run DMC? It couldn't have been by Run DMC. Dare it be? That one was also centered around being back, I believe. No, maybe that one was. Ooh, am I mixing them up? Maybe that one is the "We're back to fight the evil. We will never deceive you. We're back." No. All alone in the crib. All alone in the crib. Outside there's a storm. Oh wow, it's in here somewhere. I'm just gonna keep doodling. I'm gonna keep doodling, and it's gonna come out. That's the game we're playing for the next 10 minutes, and then stream is over. Oh, maybe it's not in there. All alone in the crib. Outside is a storm. Something, something. Did a bump in the night or something you did? You know what's overpowering it in my head right now is Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters rap, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters rap. But that's the ninja rap, ninja rap. Not that I know that song at all either. But I feel like it still goes like Ghostbusters rap, Ghostbusters rap. But it's just basically describing a ghostly encounter. Because I assume nobody knew what the script was when they were writing songs for the soundtrack. Because back in those days, a lot of soundtracks, instead of just being, "Hey, we got this popular song," they would go, "Hey, popular music person, would you like to write a song for our movie?" And they go, "Okay," and they give them a basic gist of it. And then sometimes, Will Smith will basically take the entire script and say it as a song at the end of a movie. Or there'll be things where you're just like, is this what this movie was about? Like the Ninja Turtles, the turtle rap from Partners in Rhyme. It fully describes the whole movie, but there's still definitely parts where you're just like, did you guys see the movie? What are you talking about? When I don't know, just the first part when he's just like, well, I guess do they ever declare? I guess they don't say that Leonardo is the leader. In in the first movie at all. But in the song, they're like, they say specifically that Raphael is the leader of the group, which I believe is true in the original comic book, which is where they would have gotten most of their information, I assume. And of course, the song that plays in Ghostbusters 2, what a dumb movie. When the Statue of Liberty comes to life, I believe, because they blast it with the or pink goo, and then they play a song to get it, because the good vibes are what bring things to life. And I believe it's I don't know who sings that song, but it's just like, your love keeps lifting me higher, higher than it's lifted before. We're gonna take the Statue of Liberty and make everybody cheer for us more. I don't know why this stops the bad guy, but it does. And Vigo goes back to the painting store. Weird movie. Just a weird movie. Still definitely not even close to as insane as Gremlins 2, but that's something we talk about every Christmas time. Just making up. But I think the Proton Pack's wand is. G'day, Space Goody. Godspeed, little doodle. The round part at the top or at the bottom? It's at the bottom, right? Yeah. It's still kind of rounded this way? No. Yeah, I never had the Ninja Turtles soundtrack for some reason. Um, Definitely never had the first Ghostbusters soundtrack because again, those were the days where if it wasn't out right now, then you can't get it. Like you couldn't just go to the internet. That wasn't a thing. Some of these on it, isn't there? Excuse me. was just that, and then eventually Crash Test Dummies, and I believe either I got it myself, or it was, I think I just took my dad. No. Yeah, I just took my dad's Crash Test Dummies when he got that, and Huey Lewis and the News. Which one was it? No idea. Yeah. The other way. That matters. All the years that have come to pass, all the years that shall be, I see here, right before me. She said her visions were pain in her life. Hey, she could not control them. They kept her up nights. What could some cards say? No. She could not control them. They kept her up nights. I know what you're thinking. I haven't been drinking. She knew things that cut like a knife. Hey, all those years that have come to pass and all the years that she'll be, I see here right before me. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars. Sometimes, if any of them, Facebook is the one that seems to have the most lag. But all depends on the server that day, I guess. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. It bites all the mystery. Or rewrite history with DuckTales. Woohoo! That the danger lurks behind you. There's a stranger out to find you. Don't you worry, just grab onto some DuckTales. Hey, yeah! I've been making good time with my DuckTales. Where's my paint behind? Why don't I know how to do... I don't know how to do anything anymore. Because I was on the fill bucket. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes, oh, that did work, are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, there's no case too small. Oh, chip, chip, chip at all those rangers that are rescuing things. They'll always find the jewels and arrest up all the fools. 'Cause the Chip and Dale, the tiny rodents digging in your mail, getting clues now. They're part of your world. Gadget is a little rat girl. Chip and Dale, rescuing rangers. I'll take more notes next week. Well, you know, Miles, whenever there's trouble, you can always just call DW. Darkwing Duck. Now, let's maybe get a little dangerous. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you can call DW. Darkwing Duck. Don't remember if there was more words. Darkwing Duck. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the cheese that won't release from your pizza box. I am Darkwing Duck. Lightning. Mhm. I could never remember any of them. I always wanted to. Whenever I watched that show, I'm just like, why can't none of these I can't commit them to memory, but they're all just things I just usually never related to as well. Like, what? I am the pepper in your soup when you asked for no pepper. I am Darkwing Duck. Come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly for another Arabian night, Arabian days. All right, if Pat's leaving, then so am I. No, I was about to say that's all I feel like doing for tonight. Finished up a thing and a random Ghostbuster-ish character that's still basically me. Because that's all I know how to draw. But anyway, anybody who is new, there's of course a store of merchandise, like this mug, similar things to that at MrCartoons.com. It's at my Streamlabs merch store. If you're watching on Twitch, all the links are of course in the About section. And I've made books. There is a book of comic strippings about me and Milo and some of the other characters. Yeah, you're barely in it, but you're in it. You're still in it, like 3 pages, huh? I always forget to put Ripple. Anyway, some poetry books, weird, sexy dinosaur books, and of course, check out the Streamlabs TikTok and Twitter slash their Twitch as well. Occasionally, I will take that over and do my own thing. Or well, I'll do this thing. I'll do my job, except live for people, and it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's it. I'll be back next Tuesday. Thanks once again to everyone for hanging around. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good week. I'll talk at you next week with more of whatever weird stuff happens betwixt Tuesdays. Also, I will be here. You're always here. Don't even. Yeah, but one time you replaced me. Well, on my work stream, you won't be here. Oh, so you do still plan on replacing me? Always. I always plan on replacing you. Most of the week I spend trying to decide what I'm going to replace you with. I can't believe this is how you're going to end it. Credits.